Good morning, friends. It is actually a beautifully cool morning today for August. It's like 70 degrees outside, maybe a little bit cooler. It feels amazing. So I thought, since it is so beautiful out, it would be a good time to do a garden tour. I'm gonna take note of what chores need done too. So I need to get fresh bedding for the chicken coops. I need to fix this thing too because it keeps poking me. Go eat breakfast, ladies. Give me some eggs. Scrap seems very happy with her house. No escaping. Good morning. Go eat your food, baby. Before the chickens eat it all. These ladies have not been laying. They all went broody, and I broke them out of being broody. And Mr. Rooster here has been hanging out in the nesting box during the day. I came out here to look and see if they had started laying again yet, and he's in there chilling in the nesting box. I was like, what are you doing here, dude? Never seen him in there before. It's kind of funny. Here is my berries patch. You can see there's fresh growth on the thornless black raspberries. I still, because I'm so used to blackberries having thorns and being stuck, because my whole life we've picked wild blackberries and black raspberries. Wow, had a brain fog there for a second. But I'm so used to getting prickled that I find myself like not like jumping back instead of touching these, and it's kind of hilarious actually, because I have to remind myself, oh, these don't have thorns. But new growth on here, which is great. These are doing well. I just need to get out here and mulch this. I started mulching some of it with some grass, and then my push mower died, and I haven't got out to work on it. But so blackberries. Grapevines over here. I still need to get this trellised. It's grown. This one's grown a lot actually. This one's a Concord grape. And this one is the seedless grape. It's a bit smaller. But yeah, this Bermuda grass, need to get out here and mulch all this, and these will get trellised, and they'll do a lot better once they're mulched. Blueberry bush is still over here. So not much is happening in the berry section. Berries, I'm hoping we'll do a lot better next year. I've got my little blueberry bushes. They are still here. And I need to figure out a spot for my strawberry plants to go. We got this swing put out here so the kids can hang out on the front porch while I'm working in the garden and swing when it's nice and cool out. It's a hit. Should have got two. They won at the same time. Let's take a walk in the garden, shall we? We've got our green beans here. They're doing really well. They're starting up. Probably should get these watered. It's been really dry. We really haven't had much rain at all this summer. Watermelons are still going strong. I picked off 3 more the other day. Got our watermelon patch over here. Watermelons are doing great. The cucumbers I'm letting go. They're still growing cucumbers, they just were bitter because of the heat. So I've been letting them grow still and then just giving them to the animals. Here are our cucumbers. And you can see the cucumbers and the watermelons kind of intertwined in there. So the cucumbers are kind of getting down to the end of their cycle. Here, and we've got a bunch of watermelons still from this row, and then there's a whole nother row of watermelons too. But they are still putting on more watermelons, and they've been really tasty. Because it's so dry, the sugars in them are really good. Let's go check out our tomatoes. I've been working on doing some weeding. Got my giant pile of weeds. So I got the pumpkins weeded and mulched, so they should be all good. But you can see like the big difference between those pumpkins that were mulched and the ones that weren't. So here's our other row of watermelons here. They're putting on some. They're much smaller than the first row. I think just because they were not mulched as early and they had to battle with the weeds a little bit more than the other row did. We've got our pumpkins. We've got some pumpkins starting to grow on here. There's one. So we've got some watermelons growing through the fence over there. Those ones are almost ready. There's a honeydew over here, I believe. I had some kind of cross melon thing, so that's a honeydew, I think. When I opened it up, it looked like a pumpkin and smelled like a pumpkin. Our beautiful sunflowers. They're so pretty. So I've been harvesting, like this one right here. You see how it's starting to come off? I'm gonna cut this one off and take it inside. Oh, see, they're already starting to take some of the seeds. Which is fine, you can leave them out for the birds, but I kinda wanted to save them for the chickens and also for like having for seeds for next year. So when the heads start dropping like that, I've been cutting them off and taking them inside to finish drying. Are you ready to go get your lunch? We started lunch and she decided she did not want to eat. You were swinging too high, huh? So I think when I'm getting my cucumbers ready to come out here, I'm going to plant them in this corner over here because I don't have anything here. It's just been mulched. And then we have our tomato row. Some of the ones I pulled off for the chickens, I just left them there so I can come back out and put them in a bucket for the chickens. The tomatoes are doing good. I came out and got a bunch off of here yesterday, about 1.5 gallons. They've been doing really, really good. When I was young, my grandparents had a big garden and they would grow lots and lots of tomatoes and put lots of tomatoes up canned in the pantry. And at the end of the year, my grandpa and my cousin would have rotten tomato battles where they would save up a bunch of overripe tomatoes and then just chuck them at each other in a battle form. It was great. I'm pretty sure there's some VHS videos of it. These are good. Look at this basil. Oh my goodness. It is huge. Some of my squashes died off. Some of the pumpkins are dying off too, you can see. And I have some squashes inside to save the seeds out of them. They're sitting on the counter waiting for when I have a stove again. I got some pumpkins we can harvest out here. I got some butternut squash off the garden yesterday too. So these squashes are still going really well. And I still have some butternut going out here. Let's look at the herb garden next. So I'll give you an overall view of the herb garden and then take you in for a closer look to see what you can see. So of course we have our lovely elderberries here. I've been getting a lot off. There's still a good bit more on here to get. This is the Elderberry Blossom. Each one of these flowers can turn into an elderberry. And this is what it looks like when the flowers have fallen off and the berries are starting to form. And then you get your full berries. And under our elderberry tree is our catnip. It actually smells really weird. You can make tea out of this. I don't know if you knew that. It's not just for cats. Here is the thyme. It's getting bigger. This is one of the rosemary plants. I've got a couple bee balms out here. I'll show you a close-up of the one in the back garden because it has flowers and it's really, really pretty. These are the 3 sage plants. I really honestly haven't done much with the sage. I've thrown it in a couple of chicken dishes and I've made like a roast chicken, but I haven't really done much with it, like with any kind of preserving or drying. But you can see the texture on the leaves. It's really cool. It reminds me of like a lamb's ear, but it's not quite so soft. And then I've got, how many oregano plants? Oh, I have 4 oregano plants out here. They are starting to flower. They're pretty. I could probably get out here and cut some more of this off. They grow so much, so ferociously. There's a lot on here, see? So I could cut off more. I have plenty in the cupboard, but I could definitely come out and prune these some more. Got some clover in there. And then right behind these oregano plants is the fennel. And I've been looking into how to cook fennel. I've seen it in the grocery store and I did not even realize that it was fennel. So it's starting to seed now. And from what I am understanding, a lot of what you eat is the bulb. You can eat these fronds. You can eat the seeds, or make tea from the seeds rather. But from what I'm understanding, most of what you cook with is from the bulb, and it looks kind of like an onion bulb or a radish bulb, and you can like saute it and add it to dishes and things. So the fennel has lots of blooms on it. It's going crazy. It's almost as tall as me. And then here's my other little rosemary plant. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. Oh, I love coming out and like touching the herbs, rubbing my hands on them, and then getting to smell all the delicious herbs. But I've noticed a big difference between the ones that are farther out getting more sunshine and the ones that are like closer to the house getting less sunshine in the amount of growth that they're doing. And then last but not least in the herb garden is the Echinacea plant. I have not had a chance to get out here and harvest more off of it. I definitely can. It puts out flowers all summer long. You can use the petals and the leaves for making teas and different things. And I have some heads on here that I bagged for seed saving. So I can plant some more. They're just pretty, they're fun, and they just come back every year, so they're pretty low maintenance, which is nice. My tea plants have really bushed out and taken off, and they're starting to put out their flowers. These will turn into little white flowers, they'll bloom. I got like a couple last year. There's a lot more happening this year on here, and we'll see if it makes any seeds that I can start some more. I tried starting some from cuttings and it was not successful. I can get stuff to root, but for whatever reason when I put it into soil, it just kind of molds. I had the same issue with when I tried to do suckers from the tomatoes. My roses are recovering from the Japanese beetle invasion. They did the same thing last year. The Japanese beetles came and demolished them, and then they were fine. But I did like super prune them. So they are not as big as they were when I first moved in, but I had to prune them severely because they were so overgrown and they had Virginia creeper up all through them and stuff. Anyways, on my to-do list is to get out here and get rose petals saved for teas. All right, let's go see what's going on in the backyard. I've been continuing to work on getting this back garden bed cleaned up, getting the chicken wire pulled out, and getting it mulched and cardboarded. It's a large process, so there's still more to do, but still working on that. And I put the mosquito plant in here, the citronella. I've got some more potatoes sprouting. I'm gonna go to the store and get some more potatoes and get some more started for fall plantings. You wanna water them? I need some water. I'm gonna turn the water on. Sweet potatoes need some water. They're looking a little droopy. It's just been a really dry summer, here at least. We've had a little bit where we had, you know, rain for a couple days and then back to being super dry again. Strawberries are looking really great. Getting them in that bowl of water really helped. They were struggling in the heat. Oh, look, they made a new friend. Now there's 3 in there. Cool. I've got my sweet potatoes in these buckets. I added some more compost to these 2 buckets because they were not filled up the whole way, and I thought having some extra in there would help keep it from drying out so much. So these will keep going for a while. And these peppers, they need water too. Whew. Good thing we came out here and checked on stuff. I had set this in there to try to keep it dry or keep it moist, but it did not quite fit in that pot. So put that water in there. So we've got our peppers. I need to pick some peppers off of here. I picked a bunch of cherry tomatoes, so you're not really going to see any red cherry tomatoes on here right now. The hornworm caterpillars finally discovered my cherry tomatoes. I was just thinking how they had not gotten hit yet. Onions are doing their thing back there. They're kind of split and regrow. And these ones, I don't really eat those ones. Like, I'll divide them every now and then and put them in the freezer. for like soups and stuff, but I don't eat them like as a bulb. Those ones I save for seeds and then regrow my onions from that. These marigolds are looking really pretty too. I've been pulling the heads off after they dry up. There's one I can pull. Just pull the head off and all your seeds are in there. You can save that for next year. Let's see, I think there's another one in here I can pull out. So see how it's all dried up? Just pull it. All the seeds. Easy peasy. And then just save it for next year. But those are really pretty marigolds. I got those from a friend. They're gorgeous. Yeah, these peppers they need some water. There's a lot of peppers on this one. I was wondering, because I've heard peppers are really prolific and mine had really not been producing that much. And I was curious if it was just the heat or whatever, but this is also my first year growing any kind of pepper. And honestly, after making some salsa, I think I might try growing like a hot pepper next year. I've never grown peppers and I really don't like spice, but I thought maybe it might be nice to have a little bit of heat in the salsa. This is that spotted bee balm. That's the same one in the front garden, but the ones in the front garden are not flowering yet. It's really pretty. I'm planning to lay down some fresh compost in this area and start planting peas. I'm just gonna keep an eye on the weather and see like the forecasted high temperatures and low temperatures at night to decide exactly when I'm gonna start those peas. We have like the planting chart and it says I can start them August 15th. However, you have to kind of take into consideration what the temperature is when you're trying to plan for crops that are preferring hot weather or cold weather or whatnot, so that you can give them the best success. So there is like guidelines, but there's also a little bit of just kind of weather knowledge that goes into knowing when to plant your stuff. So our last thing to check out is the trees. The butterflies are loving this butterfly bush. Look how pretty they are. Aww.
What?
The butterflies are so pretty.
Wondering where the babies are.
My avocado trees are going strong. Still getting a little bit of support. The pear tree got a nice pruning since I got all of the fruit off of there. My pruning schedule is with the solstice, so I try to do a summer pruning and a winter pruning with the solstices. I did not do any pruning on the apple trees this year. I just let them go. I may prune during the winter solstice on these, but since I just transplanted them in here, I did not do any pruning on either of these trees this summer. The pecan tree is shaping up to be really nice this year. It's got lots and lots and lots on there. I'll show you. Come look. The persimmon tree is coming along nicely too. I'm looking forward to having these in the fall making some jelly or something from them, because I did not make strawberry jam this year. I just ate all the strawberries that we got. We got like 3 gallons of strawberries and we ate them all fresh. We didn't make anything with them or freeze any of them or anything. So I'm gonna try to make some jelly from these persimmons in the fall when they're ready to go. Are you ladies enjoying your snack? Good stuff? Scraps is gonna take it all for herself. She's like, nah, I ain't gonna share. These sunflowers are so pretty. I can't get enough of them. I've got my butternut squash and my pumpkin curing out here. Thanks for joining us in the garden today. It's always fun to get to share with other people that love gardening and don't think I'm a total nerd. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time. Bye.